Hello, Karen. How have you been?
Hi. I've been feeling quite anxious lately, and I've had a lot on my mind, and I'm just feeling really overwhelmed.
What kinds of things have been on your mind? Like, what's bothering you?
Well, I'm really struggling with school. I find that when I get to school, I'm really nervous. I get really nervous talking to my peers and teachers, and everybody always says my voice is so quiet, and that makes me even feel worse. I don't really have any friends at school, and I just feel miserable all the time. It really interferes with my schoolwork, and my grades are dropping, and I'm scared I'm gonna like fail a class. And what really makes it worse is that my parents are also giving me a hard time at home. They're really pressuring me to go to church every single Sunday. Um, and I just don't feel good about this. I just feel like my beliefs are different than my parents, and they're just pressuring me to do stuff that I really don't want to do and I really don't believe in. Um, and then they told me too that if I stop going to church, that they won't let me hang out with this one friend that I do have. She's a neighbor of mine, and she really is the only person that I feel like I can talk to.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. It's really brave of you to come forward about all this stuff that you've been feeling, and it's good that you're able to identify all of your feelings. Um, let's start with your friends at school. You said that you didn't have many friends at school, but you do have your one neighbor who you're friends with. Do you ever get nervous when you're talking to that one friend that you do have, your neighbor? Do you ever get nervous when you talk to them?
Um, like not as much for sure. I feel like I can talk to her more freely and kind of be more myself. Um, I feel like we've got more in common than I do with people at school.
So is it the fact that you have more stuff in common with her? Is that what makes you less nervous when you talk to her? Like what do you think it is about your neighbor that makes you less nervous?
Yeah, I think that might be it because we both really like art, and it's something that we can both talk about. So I'm not having to like get nervous about what I'm going to talk to her about. And that's sort of what I do with people at school is I never know what to say to them. But with my neighbor at home, I mean, it's just really easy to talk to her because we both talk about art all the time and we both really love art.
Mm-hmm. Art is a great coping mechanism, and there's a lot of different outlets that you can find in art, and so it's really good that you're participating in that, and especially that you found your neighbor who has a common interest. So let's just say, imagine if at school you had friends that were similar to your neighbor and you had the same relationship with your friends at school as you do with your neighbor. How do you think that would change how you're feeling right now?
Well, that would make me feel a lot better because I would feel as I walked into the school where I always see like so many people all together all at once. I would feel like I would have somebody to go and stand beside and somebody I could talk to, and I wouldn't feel so alone and isolated and feeling like people are staring at me thinking I'm some kind of weirdo because I don't have any friends. For sure, if I had people like that at my school, um, yeah, I think I would feel a lot better. It would make me feel happier for sure.
What do you think would be one of the major signs that you would notice in yourself that you are feeling happier?
I would be less stressed. When I go into school, I just feel so anxious. And yeah, I would definitely feel a lot less stress. And I think then um, I would be able to do better at my schoolwork too because I wouldn't have all this anxiety and stress around concentrating. I would just enjoy my classes more because that's what I would like to do. There's some topics that I really do enjoy, but I feel like I'm just so uptight and so stressed all the time So yeah, I think if I had friends, I'd be more relaxed and my grades would improve.
So I'm hearing that the lack of friends that you have at school is really making you lonely, and it's putting a lot of stress on you, and therefore you can't focus on your schoolwork as well, and so your grades are dropping, which is additionally making you feel more stressed. So you said multiple times now that you're really into art. Is there any programs or after school programs that you have at your school that are surrounded around art and that you think you would enjoy?
Yeah, there might be. I mean, my art teacher last year, she was really nice. I could actually, maybe go and talk to her because I know that she runs different programs and she does really cool things like painting murals in the hallway. And yeah, I think maybe I she's a teacher that's so nice. I feel like I could talk to her easier. And I could maybe find out if she's into doing any projects that I could participate in, and or maybe there might be a group that gets together that she's running. I'm not sure, but I think I could go and speak to her about that.
Okay, so why don't we set a goal for this week for you that you go and talk to your art teacher at least once and ask her about any extra little art activities that are going on after school that you can participate in that might bring you closer to your peers, and therefore you might make more friends. Does that sound like something that you could possibly do?
Yeah, I feel for sure I could do that. I feel like this art teacher is somebody I could talk to for sure.
And do you think by doing that, that would help improve your grades as well? Like you said, you're having a lot of stress around your schoolwork because you're distracted by all your feelings and stuff.
Yeah, I think if I had something else to do besides worry about my anxiety and worry about having no friends, if I could distract myself from that, it would help. And who knows, like maybe if she does have something going on, maybe I could meet people, and that would help even more too. So yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Well, that's really good. Thank you for sharing all that with me. And I think that this plan sounds really good, and I think that you'll be able to tackle this and get through it. So I know you mentioned something about your parents. Do you want to kind of explain a little bit more what's going on with your parents?
Well, my parents are really religious, and they always have been. And lately, I've just been not enjoying going to church. And I'm not exactly sure why. I just know that it's just not something that is making me feel very good right now. And I don't like being pressured and told that I have to go to church. I think I would like to sort of explore maybe other avenues and just see what else is out there. Something that's, maybe more reflecting of me as a person and what I truly believe in. Because there's some stuff that they say at church that I kind of just don't really buy into.
Yeah, the older you get, the more your personal beliefs and everything will change, and that's totally normal. So you shouldn't feel bad about having your own personal beliefs, and that's all okay to have. So if you were to wake up one day and your parents you were to tell your parents everything about what your personal beliefs are. I know you're nervous and stuff because you think they're gonna freak out and not be accepting, but imagine that you did talk to them one day and they were to be very accepting of your personal beliefs and they didn't have a problem with how you feel personally. How would that make you feel?
That would make me feel really good, because then I wouldn't feel that there was something wrong with me because I wasn't feeling the same way that they are feeling when they go to church. And that they would really kind of hear me as a person and respect what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that maybe talking to your parents would be a good thing to start with, and just kind of going up to them and seeing if they would be willing to sit down with you and just have a discussion where, you know, you can ask any questions that you have about religion, and then maybe lightly bring up the fact that you're unsure what you personally believe in. Because they've like freaked out in the past about certain things, and just because they're really heavy with religion and they're really involved in the church doesn't mean that they won't accept their own daughter's beliefs and personal values. So, you know, I think that it would really benefit you to sit down and talk. How do you think that would make you feel?
I think for sure it's worth a try, because that's something I haven't really tried before, is to sit down and have a calm conversation about what I'm feeling around church and the beliefs that I have right now. Usually it's more attitude stuff that's going on. So we don't really, really have good talks about it. So I would like to do that, and see how they respond, and see if they're able to hear me and listen to me. I think it's worth a try.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be worth a try too. And sometimes a lot of people find that sitting down and having those talks with their parents can actually bring them all closer together, which is a really good thing and really healthy. And you know, your parents are there to support you, so I think it's definitely worth a shot. What do you think about maybe setting another goal to try and sit down and talk to your parents at some point this week for at least 10 minutes and just ask them some questions? Do you think you could do that?
I think I can. Now that I think about it, I think that would be a really good thing to do. And then who knows, maybe that would make me feel a lot less pressured, because they will ease up on me a little bit about going to church. So yeah, I'm going to give that a try.
Okay, that's good. Well, sounds like we have a good plan set in place. So you're going to try this week to go and talk to your art teacher about extracurricular things that you could do. Hopefully she's got something in mind. Maybe you can help paint a mural like you said. And then you're also going to sit down and talk to your parents for at least 10 minutes. So does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm going to do that for sure.
Okay, good. How are you feeling now?
I feel better. Thank you for talking to me and really listening to me.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in, and you're very brave for sharing all of that with me. I look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, thank you.